Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. Well, today we're doing content entry. This time it's for the Geek Legion of Doom's 3,000 subscriber competition, which I think is a really great milestone. I'm definitely nowhere near 3,000 subs. So big congratulations to Leo. He's sort of the main sort of guy that does sort of run the channel, but we do sort of see Matt and Zara from occasion. They do sort of pop in and help sort of Leo, sort of make videos. Definitely a great YouTuber. I do sort of quite enjoy his videos, and definitely deserves a sub if you're not already subbed to him. But I'm pretty sure most of the people that already subbed to me, probably already subbed to Leo. But I'll leave his link down below, so definitely check him out. Give him a sub. Yeah, so it's his sort of 3,000 subscriber competition. Giving away some really cool prizes. There was sort of two ways you could sort of enter. You could sort of answer two questions just in the comment section, and then there was sort of two questions, or actually I think it was three questions, where you could do sort of a video response. I think I might perhaps just answer all 5 questions, I think, just on one video, just because I can. So I think the first question, well, the first sort of text sort of question, what was your, what's your most anticipated movie for 2016? There's probably a few films I'm probably interested to sort of see. Obviously, it's going to be a new Star Wars movie. It's going to be a new sort of Bourne movie as well. I do actually quite like the Bourne movies with Matt Damon. What else is coming out? Is the new? It's going to be like the Warcraft movie. That does look sort of quite interesting. A new Star Trek movie as well. That does look quite good. But the film I'm going to give the answer to is probably not sort of necessarily the my most anticipated movie. But I think probably the film that probably I'm sort of most interested to sort of see would have to be the new sort of Ghostbusters movie, the new sort of reboot, sort of all female cast. Sort of doing a reboot of the Ghostbusters movie. I don't necessarily sort of have sort of too high hopes for it, to be honest. But I'm definitely sort of interested to sort of see what they're going to sort of do with it. It might be, an absolute major disaster, but I'm still, in some ways, still quite sort of interested to sort of see, what it's going to be like. The other question was probably what was your sort of the worst film I think you saw in 2015. It's probably a bit of a sort of hard question. I don't think I necessarily sort of I don't think I necessarily sort of saw any sort of films that I didn't think were necessarily like terrible. I don't think. I mean, you probably go. Most people would probably say something like Terminator Genesis or the Jurassic World. I think they weren't necessarily well received. But I think I didn't sort of mind those two movies. I thought they were quite decent. I think probably the only movie that does sort of spring to mind, which is probably, I don't know, might shock a few people because I think it was on, some people's sort of top 10s. I didn't necessarily quite enjoy the film Kingsman: The Secret Service as much as sort of other people did. It wasn't too bad of a movie. I don't know, it just wasn't quite as good as everyone was sort of hyping it up to be, and there were a lot of sort of stupid moments, I think, in it too as well, which I didn't necessarily sort of care for. So that's probably going to be my answer. I mean, I didn't sort of, I do try to sort of avoid watching, terrible movies at the cinema. So, I don't necessarily, I didn't sort of see necessarily, that many terrible films. So, anyway, so on to the sort of the video response questions. The first one was to sort of show something that was sort of a bit sort of geeky in your collection. I wasn't really quite sure what to sort of do for this answer. I did sort of, rack my brain for quite a while. Eventually I come up with sort of a few things from my Wii U collection. I think most people are either sort of, Sony PS4 fans or Microsoft Xbox fans. I think sort of the poor Nintendo Wii U does sort of get a bit of flack, and it's a bit of a sort of an underrated console, I think, too. A lot of people, I think, really do sort of dismiss it. But I do actually quite think it's a really great console, and I do quite enjoy all the games that I got for it. There's a few games I haven't even started playing yet. Yeah, I mean, I do think it's a really worth getting, I think, the Wii U. Anyway, so I do actually have a few sort of special editions of some of the sort of the Wii U games that have sort of been released. So I thought I might sort of show them. That's probably going to be my sort of my geeky thing in my collection. I do actually have a few of these. The first one here is the Mario Kart 8 sort of special sort of boxed edition. It sort of comes with the game, and then also comes with like a sort of a plastic sort of the blue shell, which is kind of like sort of the most powerful weapon that you can sort of get in the game to sort of we can sort of throw it at your opponents, and they sort of get knocked off course. And then you can sort of win the race. So it's the game, and then sort of shell, and it just comes in this sort of really cool sort of special edition sort of big boxed edition, which I think is is quite cool. So that's the Mario Kart 8 one. Then we also have the Mario Maker sort of deluxe one as well, which does come with sort of the Mario. It's the 25th anniversary. No, sorry, the 30th anniversary, as it says on the front here. Sort of special retro version, sort of amiibo figure, which is pretty much just sort of one of these sort of figures inside, which is actually quite a pretty cool, I reckon, sort of figurines. I do actually have quite a lot of these amiibo figures as well. They're sort of definitely breaking the bank, but I'm trying to sort of collect every single one. That down there. So that's sort of the Mario Maker big boxed edition. Then we've got the sort of the Yoshi's Woolly World sort of boxed edition, which comes with the game. It also comes with another amiibo figure, but these are actually sort of woolen, actually sort of made out of wool, which is actually a very cool sort of really cool design, I thought. The rest of them are all, the rest of sort of the amiibos are all sort of just plastic, while these are actually sort of made of wool, and very cool, I reckon. So that's the Yoshi's Woolly World one, and then we've got the Captain Toad one, which obviously comes with the game, and then the sort of the the Captain Toad sort of figure. That's sort of another really nice sort of boxed edition. And then the last one I got is the Mario Party 10. Again, comes with the game and sort of the Mario amiibo figure sort of inside. So that's very cool as well. I think there's also a Splatoon one of these as well, which I'm missing. But I think I've got most of these. I think most of the sort of big sort of boxed editions. And then there was one more question. That's right. So sort of give a shout out to a sort of YouTuber that sort of has less subscribers to you has less subscribers than you. I've actually got a couple there I might just sort of quickly run off. There's a guy called John Avenger, which I think he makes really great videos. I think he's only got, it's like 200 subs, 220 subs, I think, so when I last checked. I mean, what I sort of like about him, I think he just sort of, he's not sort of ashamed to sort of give his opinion on certain things. He'll either tell you, he sort of loves a movie, or it might be a film that no one really likes, but it's a film that he really likes, and he sort of has no shame in sort of saying that he likes it. And same with the film that he thinks is a bit overrated or something, he would definitely tell you that he thinks it's overrated. And I don't necessarily we do have sort of perhaps different sort of tastes on certain movies, I suppose. He sort of has he sort of likes movies that I don't necessarily like, and sort of vice versa. But that does sort of go to show that I think just how much of a sort of good YouTuber he is, though. I think I definitely do. If I don't necessarily agree with what his opinion, I do sort of do quite enjoy watching his videos and sort of hearing his thoughts on whatever he's talking about. So definitely check out Avenger. I think he definitely deserves more subs, and yeah, check him out. The other one is I think probably most people might already be subscribed. That's Bryan Lomax's movie talk. I think he's another really great YouTuber as well. I think he does really great reviews. He really does sort of great sort of in-depth reviews on in whatever movie that he's talking about. And I sort of find some people sort of, when they do sort of in-depth reviews, they sort of do sort of sound like they're sort of, writing off they do sort of sound like they're sort of reading off a card or something, or it does sort of sound like a very sort of scripted type of review. Whereas his videos, I think he just sort of, they might be scripted, I don't know, but they do just sort of sound really natural, and he just really just sort of sound very casual and very much just sort of comes off, sounds like he's sort of, coming off the top of his head, type thing. So he's definitely, I think, just great to listen to, and really great to sort of hear his thoughts on, on movies that he's sort of reviewing. So definitely check out Bryan Lomax's Movie Talk, a really great YouTuber. The other one's is the Grey 1951. More of a sort of an older guy. He watches a lot of different sort of stuff. He's a big sort of fan of sort of really old sort of black and white movies, and that's something I'm sort of been recently getting into. So it's he definitely has really great, I think, sort of film knowledge as well. He definitely sort of does sort of seem to know what he's talking about, and he also does sort of horror reviews, and he just did his top 100 films of all time. I think that's like a 4 or 5 part series, and that's definitely worth checking out. And he did do like a sort of a room tour too a little while ago, which I thought was really cool. He got a really great that was a really great room tour, I thought. But he just seems to really know what he's talking about, and definitely has a passion for what he's talking about. But he also does like CDs and records and books and posters and all different sort of stuff. So he's definitely another one to definitely sort of check out. I think that's it. Pretty sure that's all the questions. Oh no, actually no. I'll take that back. I had to sort of say, out of the sort of the 8 prizes, which 2 would I sort of choose? Which is probably a bit of a hard question. I think I'd probably choose maybe the Hostel Steelbook, because that did look, quite good. And there's also the Freddy Krueger Funko Pop, which that looked pretty cool as well. So that'd probably be the 2 that I think I'd pick out of the sort of the 8 options or whatever it was. Anyway, I think I'll end it there. I've been rambling on too long. Definitely check out Leo's channel. I think definitely he has like a really great channel. And if you're not subbed to him, definitely give him a sub. Yeah, so I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. Good luck to everyone else that enters the competition. Thanks to Leo for actually running the competition. And that's it. Thanks for watching. And yeah, bye.